What's up? This is Matt Tuck from My Valentine. You're watching The Blair and Out Show with Eric Blair.
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have Matthew Tuck of Bullet for My Valentine on the show. You guys were just kicking out there just now.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
It's so heavy. Do you ever wear earplugs?
We have in-ear monitors, so we get our own mix, so we can have it as loud or as quiet as we want, and we can have as much of something if we want. You know, it's all personal things, so we don't get to hear the full vibe.
Your youth like growing up in Bridgend, Wales?
It was a typical kind of Welsh-British upbringing, really. Just come from a quite humble working-class family. Just grew up, you know, did all normal things, went to school with the boys, found a love for rock music when I was about 14 years old, and that's all I ever wanted to do since that age, really, and I did. So it was cool, you know, it's a great place to be. There was a buzzing music scene when I was growing up. Weather sucks, but that's the UK, you know. But apart from that, very, very normal upbringing.
There was a camaraderie in the Cardiff music scene.
Yeah. It was camaraderie, it was competition, it was, you know, it was a healthy everything, really, so it was good. We had to work for it because there were so many bands doing what we were doing, so there was definite competition there.
So you have the kind of personality where if there is somebody competing with you, you always feel like I can do one better.
I'll never lose. I'm a very competitive person, always have been, always will be. So I don't like to become second best to anything in anything.
What sign are you?
Capricorn.
How much did studying music at Bridgend College help?
Honestly, it didn't help at all.
Really?
It was kind of an experience which was just almost a piss take. It was the first year that the college had this course going. When we went, there wasn't even a computer in the class, so all we did was go there and like jam and get drunk. It was just like a crazy kind of band house rather than a college. It was crazy.
Almost like living on the dole. In England, you know how the Clash, they lived on the dole and they went to art school because they had nothing else to do, and that's how they got the band together.
That's exactly how it was. Yeah, it was just you know, all of us went there because that's all we wanted to do was music. So we thought, oh, this would be a good idea. There's an opportunity to do music, and we did it. And then it was just nothing anyways, you know. But apparently, you know, it's a really good course. But when we did it, it was just a bunch of guys jamming out, getting drunk, trying to pull girls.
What is your greatest achievement to date?
I just think getting a record deal with a band. I think that was always goal number one. And since we've done that, we've achieved loads of other amazing things. But if that one hadn't happened, those wouldn't have happened, you know. So just think getting a record deal was priority number one.
Matt, what is your greatest fear?
Oh, there's quite a few. There's quite a somber ones, really. You know, I don't even want to say it because it's a bit grim. I don't want to, like, family stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we all can relate with that fear.
Yeah, I'm a dad now, so it relates to that basically. So.
Yeah, how has your son changed your life recently? And I know he's starting to grow up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He's changed everything. He's made me a far better human being. I appreciate life. I appreciate kind of my family and friends. And before that, it was just a crazy roller coaster of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know what I mean? But now he's come along, it's just totally prioritized my life, so it's been an amazing experience.
Would you consider yourself monogamous?
100%, yeah.
How are you able to be monogamous when you have 50 million beautiful girls throwing themselves at you on tour?
I don't know, just a reality check of the situation I'm in. I've been with my girl for a long time, you know, we live together, we have a child, we're getting married in September. So I think I've had my moments of being crazy and having fun on the road, which I think every band member should experience at some point, you know. And so I've been there, done that, and it's, you know, but I'm just kind of settling down a lot now, so it's nice, I feel good.
Is that the type of lifestyle that your parents portrayed for you?
I think so, yeah. They've been happily married for like nearly 40 years.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, you know, so I grew up in a very stable household, you know what I mean? They had their problems, like every parents do, yeah, you know, every relationship does even. But, you know, growing up, and they're still together to this day, you know, so it's amazing. You've
said in interviews Metallica, Iron Maiden, two of your biggest influences, but you also mentioned Bruce Springsteen, Bob Seger, and Bob Dylan. So quickly, favorite Bruce Springsteen song?
Thunder Road.
Bob Seger.
I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's the one Metallica covered. Like,
oh,
on the road.
Turn the Page.
Turn the Page, that's the one. Yeah,
that is a great song.
It was actually that cover that actually got me into Bob Seger as well, so that was kind of a nice thing.
His songs are very emotionally gripping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot like yours.
Yeah, man, like that's why I kind of, now I've grown older and I'm a songwriter myself, I started to appreciate that kind of artist, you know what I mean, that they're just amazing songwriters, and that's what I aspire to be one day, hopefully, so.
And Bob Dylan.
Times are changing.
What is the meaning behind the cover of Temper Temper?
Honestly, no meaning. We just wanted something that was kind of visually quite graphic, but not so graphic that we wouldn't be able to get it in stores. Just something simple, and we wanted to maybe relate to kind of something that happened, which was earlier in the Bullet days, like the Hand of Blood EP. So we thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So it's just kind of like we've gone done a little bit of a circle with the themes.
Do you believe in sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Yes, I do, but just not for myself.
When you were living by the precepts of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, did it own you or did you own it?
Oh, I owned it. Yeah. you got to own it, man. Otherwise, it just takes over everything, and that's when things get bad. So you have fun, and that's all you do.
Well, you must be a very disciplined person. How would you define the word love?
How would I define it? I think if you love something, you're willing to do anything for it. It's like sacrifice something. So yeah, maybe kind of self-sacrifice.
What inspired the songs? Let's start off with Dead to the World.
That song I actually wrote with Chris Jericho of Fozzy and, Mr. Tough Guy.
Yeah.
So he actually took the lead on that one because that was one soundtrack I was struggling to write lyrics to. So I just called him up and then he kind of started the ball rolling and then I kind of added some parts and stuff like that. So from what I get from it, it's kind of a double entendre title, you know what I mean? Dead to the world can mean a very peaceful thing like a child sleeping, or it can mean you don't exist to anybody, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it. And
there could be a spiritual meaning behind that too, because a lot of Christians consider themselves dead to the world also.
Yeah. So it's, I think it's open to interpretation. I think that there's many different ways you could go.
Truth Hurts.
That's a song about basically getting into too much mischief on tour, coming to terms with things are starting to get a bit heavy, like drinking and experimenting in certain things you shouldn't be experimenting in. And just coming to a realization that it's, that's happening, and just, the truth hurts, but sometimes that's good, so it's a reality check.
Saints and sinners.
The opening line says it all for me, what the song is about, and this is our fucked up world, and it's just about good people, bad people. You choose your path, but ultimately we're all going to die. Kind of depressing, but it's fun.
But you have a call to arms to the saints and the sinners.
The saints, don't be afraid, let it out, I want to hear thunder. Sinners, are you ready to rage, loud and proud, I want to hear thunder. So it's basically kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of party chorus. The saints, they're sinners, but at the end of the day, we're all going to die, so let's just fucking rock on.
What's going on with AxeWound? Because that rocks.
Thank you. At the minute, nothing. Obviously, because I'm super busy on this tour and many tours to come with Bullet. Liam's still out on the road doing his thing with the Cancer Bats, and all the other guys have got their own shit going on. So when we get an opportunity to get us all in the same room, we'll do a follow-up. Hopefully, it will come. It's just we're just gonna have to just play it by ear, unfortunately.
Liam's got a one-of-a-kind voice, man. His voice is it's like ripping up.
Yeah, he shreds, man, and he can do that all night, every night. He does 2 shows a night sometimes, so it's crazy.
How did it feel you're being this lead, this golden god, we'll say, and taking a little bit of a back seat? How did that feel for you?
It was good. That's kind of why I wanted to do it. I wanted to do something different from Bullet. I didn't want to be the singer because I may as well just made the Bullet record sooner. There was no point in me doing something else unless it was completely different, you know what I mean? So just kind of wrote everything with Jace, and then when we kind of had the album pretty much done apart from the vocals, then we kind of put the band around it.
What was your biggest growth from that experience?
Just like, I don't know, I basically surprised. I'm a very kind of, my work ethic is good, you know what I mean? I like to work hard. I don't like to kind of sit on my ass a lot of time. But the way we wrote and recorded that record, we wrote it and recorded it in just 11 days. And that was just like astonishing for me because, we've spent like 6 months doing a Bullet record sometimes. And it was just like, we did this in under 2 weeks. She was like, that's crazy. So I just learned a lot about myself that, I don't know, I'm a good muso, I guess.
You're keeping it punk rock because you capture that immediate inspiration quick instead of go over and over and let's retake.
And that's how we approached the new Bullet record then as well. Because of that, we kind of did the same thing. We spent a lot more time on it because we could, and we didn't rush it, but we went in there with the same mindset. We just went in there and just tried to write a song a day. Sometimes it took 2 days, sometimes it took 3. But that's how we did it. We didn't go in there and think about anything. We just did it.
Are you a spiritual person?
Not really. I used to be, but nowadays, no. I've just kind of, I don't know, just me. I don't know.
What do you think of Christianity?
Again, I don't know. It's kind of a heavy question, really. I'm a Christian. My son, we got christened when he was 1. I'm about to get married in church. So I kind of, I do lean towards it that way. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a good Christian. I don't go to church anymore or anything like that. But it is something that kind of I do keep in the back of my head most days. So.
I don't know if going to church makes you a good Christian. You know what I mean? I mean, it's more about how you treat people.
Yeah. Well, I think since my son's come along, I've become not a better Christian, just a better person. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of walks in the same footsteps, really. So.
What can fans expect from the next album? Because I know, you being a workhorse like you are, you probably are already working on new songs, and you probably want to raise the bar on this next album. So what can fans expect?
I don't know. We really, it's very early days. We've started jamming little riffs and stuff like that, but there's no kind of immediate direction or we don't know where we're going. But that's kind of how we've always done it, and that's always served us well. So I'd like to make probably a heavier record than the last one, but that's kind of as far as we've gone as thinking about it. But whatever comes out, comes out. We won't fight it.
Are you talking to any new producers?
We're meeting someone today, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish you luck with that endeavor. What brings you the most peace in your life right now?
Just my family. Just like spending downtime with those guys, and they're my world. I would drop all this now if I had to just hang out with those guys.
That's heavy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this changed my life. I've gone from such a selfish, normal person to just kind of being in a band, getting loads of fucking money and fame and all this shit. And it's great. And then as soon as he came along, all that shit went away. And it was a good feeling because I just didn't care anymore. Where a lot of the time I was just taking it far too seriously.
As a singer of Bullet for My Valentine, what do you feel is your responsibility to your fans?
I think the main responsibility is to just do kick-ass live shows, you know what I mean? That's my priority every night now for the last couple of years, is to make sure that I'm the best I can be every night. Even if it's not awesome, as long as I've done what I know I can do, then just give a great live show. That's my major priority. On
this tour, on the Hard Drive tour, you are duetting with Lizzie Hale every night on Dirty Little Secret. Mm-hmm. What is that experience like, getting up, having her perform with you?
It's good. It's for me, it's definitely one of the highlights of the set. It's not something that you do a lot, not something that we've done a lot anyways, you know what I mean? And then a couple of nights before the first UK show that we did together recently, just called her up and said, do you want to maybe just do something different, come up and sing a song with us? And she was like, yeah, okay. So we just did it. We did a couple of takes of it in sound check, the first show, and we've done it every single night since. And it's amazing. It's such a nice point in the set. It really works well. What do you think of her as a person? She's amazing. She's very inspiring to me. She's a beautiful person inside and out, extremely talented and humble. She's the perfect woman. Matthew, what's next for you and Bullet for My Valentine? We still got about 4 weeks left on this Hard Drive tour. And then when June rolls around, May and June, end of May and most of June, it's all like European festivals and stuff. Bit of time off in July, crazy stuff again in August, loads of festivals all around the place. And then a bit of time off in September. And then it starts again in October. It's coming back here. It is endless. Matthew, thank you for being on the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. No worries. Blairing Out with Eric Blair with Matthew Tuck, a Bullet for My Valentine, signing off.
The Blairing Out show.